Good morning. When I tell y'all it's going to be a day in the life, it's going to be a day in the life. Windows frosted up. I'm super late, but such is life. I had to check traps. I had to get ready. I missed an alarm. I was doing book work, sending numbers. Welcome to the jungle. Okay? I promised y'all it would be real, it'd be raw. I recorded this whole thing in my bathroom while getting ready, realized I'd never hit the second record button. Damn, it was good too. So we're going to attempt this again. It's Monday. We're all off to the races. May the odds be ever in your favor with today. We're going to talk about the Regina George mentality. Okay, 110 people think this is a woman thing. Nope. It is a universal thing. I see men do the mean girl crap. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Sorry, my alarm went on. But that's not. Oh, my phone is like flashing. There we go. So I don't even know. You know what I mean? I don't even know. And we're going to just talk about this for a minute. Anyone who thinks that you have a place, they have a place, their place is here, your place is there, their place is there, whatever. 1955 called and said, get over yourself. Okay? Get over yourself. So that was so many years ago. And I think that was kind of crap then. I love this. That's women's work, or that's a woman's job. And what really gets me is when men try to like squash women. I love how they're gonna like, I got my woman in check. I got my wife in check. You don't got shit in check, bro. Let me just tell you. Like, that's how I want to tell them. I want to tell them like my kids, bro, cut your shit. Yeah, but let me tell you, Bubba. That's how I think that mentality is stuck with like Bubba in the back of Kentucky, living in them hills and hollers. No, sorry, Bob, because I know some really tough women and I know some really soft men. It's a double-edged sword, let me tell you. So I don't want to be told what that should be my job as a woman, or I can't do that job because I'm a woman. Let me tell you what, I know men who could cook and could clean and do all the things, and I know men who can't do shit. Okay? Same for women. Same. I know women who screw up rice in an Instapot. It's literally 2 ingredients and there's a rice button. Okay? But I know them. We all do. We all do. So I'm not saying you walk up to them like we're in 10th grade, because we're not anymore. And walk up and go, I'm not playing your game anymore. No, flip the script. Change your perspective. You can change the narrative and they won't even get it at first. And when they do, their head will implode with tiny millions of little bombs on the inside of how they are just perplexed as to how you pulled it off. But you just start, so you ask a lot of questions. That's me. So you want to know why? That's me. How come? When did this change? Why are we changing the process? Okay, are we going to change it back? What, like I am this, the why, what, when, where, how come, right? I'm 100% that chick, okay? So it is what it is, right? Just is what it is. Anywho, good God have mercy. I had to crank this heat up to see out the windshield. Now I'm frying. But the Regina George mentality of like classes, levels, places, no. And like I told you, the one thing that will get me the worst is when men sit around and talk about putting us in our place. Learn yours, buddy. You're set equal playing field. Marriage is a job. Can I say my husband does 50% of the housework? Hell no, I never will be able to. Because I think like this and I live in a traditional household by my choice. My husband does help around the house. But can I say he did 50% of the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning? Okay, we don't let him cook, but that's another podcast. He does once in a blue moon, but y'all, He gave me food poisoning once. Another podcast. So, but I don't really want to hear your feedback on this because I can't believe in 2026 people still think like this. Like, what in the baby Jesus is wrong with people? Why do they think this is okay? To think that I have a place different than your place, different than their place, different than their place. And I'm going to tell you the other thing, money don't buy class. Class is something you innately have and work at keeping. And I'm going to just flat out say it. I think it's classless to think people have stations in life. Like, that is such an archaic way of thinking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, I feel very confident talking on this subject because I lived in my station for many years and I was Regina George by so many people. And like little by little, I just started realizing that just didn't have to be the status quo. You know, I was talking to some friends the other day and they were like, hairdressers have kind of a bad reputation. And I was like, really? What do you mean? And she was like, don't be that way. And I was like, look, I don't even know why people want to lump all of any profession in because of a handful of ding dongs. She was like, well, you know that blah, blah, blah that you used to work with, and she's a loudmouth gossip and hairdresser. And, you know, and I'm like, yeah. And how does that equate to me? Like, how? How does it equate? I am perplexed. Every secretary is a mealy-mouthed, afraid of everybody, you know, person in life. No. Why do people think like that? And I told them, I said, you know, I had an oil and gas career before I went back to doing hair for my kids. And I just told her, I said, I guess I'm different. I look at my marriage as a job, my kids as a job, and my grandkids as a full-time job also. So basically outside of my full-time gigs, I've got full-time gigs. But those are my favorite jobs in life because no one is going to tell you how to dedicate your time, yourself, your effort, your worth. You are. You got to stop letting people dictate it. It's ridiculous to me. And the other thing that just really boils my blood is I don't like her, you can't like her. And I watch men do this as much as women. And, you know, they're always the first to be like, it's the women. It is not. It is y'all. They crack me up, you know. Well, that's what women do. Is it? Is it? Have you looked around the male workplace lately? Hysterical. Hysterical. So, anyway, here nor there. That just goes with like all women are not gossiping crazy loudmouth church ladies sitting around on the telephone all day. Sure, some are. Majority I don't think are anymore. We're all busy. We're all doing our things. We're all living our lives and trying to project ourselves better. Like, you know, like trajectories are a thing, okay? And I would like to think the many not the few. Does that make sense? I'm not going to say that way has stopped. I'm not going to say it's done. It's always going to exist. You don't have to feed it by playing into it and putting yourself in your station and all these things. Because you can simply walk into the restroom, take a deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and say, that person's full of shit. And I ain't riding their little ride outside of Walmart, and I'm not putting my damn quarter in it anymore. You got to take your quarter out of the ride at Walmart, folks. You just do. You have to get off the ride. Or stay on it. I mean, hell, I'm equal opportunity to stay on it. Just ride the hell out of it. I'm going to keep shaking my head and being like, well, What you allow is what will continue. It's like constantly sitting next to someone. God dang. Up, up. Are we here? Are we here? We're trying to be here. Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but barely see me. It's like sitting next to someone who's always negative. Look, let me tell you, Debbie Downer, it's not going to be better if that's how you always think. If you project it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad. Because no matter how good it turned out, it's going to be bad. So that's what I'm saying, guys. It's Monday. It's a whole new day in the wild, wild west of the workplace and in everyday life. And let's kick it into high gear. Okay? Let's just get it going off right. Change your perspective because your attitude determines your altitude, and stop feeding negative attitudes. And if you're sitting next to someone's like, well, that's just how it is. Okay, and they don't want to do anything to change it, and it's like on a repeat spin cycle, change where you're sitting every time. So I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. I hope this helps bring some perspective to the Manic Monday, because it is dog eat dog. We all know it. It's not going to change. What's going to change is you. Flip your script. They're not flipping theirs.